What is e-learning actually? And it really covers the whole spectrum. And I should say at Western, when we talk about e-learning, we are interested in the whole spectrum. And here's where I'll come back to what's the principle that's driving e-learning at Western, and it really is academic engagement. It's an academic priority that we're trying to address, working to address, and we're looking for quality. But the other thing we have to take into account is students' own expectations. So students are coming to us obviously as digital natives, they're very familiar with technology, and this is a way for us in the context of our teaching mission to actually be able to use the tools that they're familiar with and to be able to reach our students.
In my conventional literature courses, I use various different types of technology, largely with the intention of trying to create a sense of community and have my students working with each other as well as working with me, sort of moving from the so-called sage on the stage model where the students are isolated individual people in a large lecture hall to one in which they're actually engaging with each other as well as with me in new platforms.
The kind of e-learning that I use, it's called asynchronous e-learning, meaning that the learner and the instructor aren't online at the same time. And the technology I use is called Articulate Storyline. And the particular style I use I've developed through the course of my research. I call them snap courses. And snap courses are really short, 5 to 7 minutes of interactive media. There's different ways you can use a snap course. I do not use it to replace classroom teaching because I think classroom teaching can be a very valuable, great tool. I use it to supplement the classroom.
E-learning is an integral part of all of my teaching. So even if I teach face-to-face classes, we have online components where students can go and follow up with discussion.
It's a cliche to say that technology shrinks the room. It does. The students who are up in the back of my classroom are reading the question on their iPhone and clicking their answers. They're engaged in ways they typically aren't among the people who sit in the back rows, right? So, yeah, they're tools to enhance those kinds of things that we always have tried to do. And then again, as I mentioned, to do things we never could before.
I understand faculty potentially being intimidated by technology. If you've done something the same way for very long, it does require an investment of time to learn something new. And many may say, I'm a good teacher, I know how to teach in the classroom, why would I do that? And I understand that, and perhaps even their first attempt to do it may be a failure because they are an expert in the classroom and maybe a novice with technology. So what I would say is look into the area of your teaching where you're having challenges. Maybe there's one piece of content that you teach the same way every time and it's never fun to teach. And maybe look at that as the low-hanging fruit for where you could incorporate technology.
When it comes to using technology, I usually don't start with the technology. I start with what it is that I want to accomplish. It's, what is it? How do I structure this learning so that it'll be meaningful? And then I look for the technological tools to help me do that.
There's no question that lectures and a lecture well delivered is a critical part, I think, of the teaching and learning pedagogy. But if we look at other ways of engaging our students, we can find ways to engage our students as partners in learning in a way through technology that maybe isn't always there in some of the traditional ways. So they're just new possibilities.